So we got the newest film sent to us by RKSS, who is the team behind Turbo Kid, Summer of '84, and most recently the movie that we reviewed not that long
Last
ago,
year, I think.
just a few months.
Yeah.
We Are Zombies.
Hmm.
This is a directing team that I quite like their previous work, especially Turbo Kid and Summer of '84, both excellent films. So when they release something, it's exciting. Now, I know one of the directors is in some serious hot water because of
Mm.
something that they did. I want to say it's like something really fucking bad, like pedophilia or
Oh
something. So like,
no.
yeah, nothing good. So I know that they're not uh, probably the most beloved people right now. But there
Mm.
is, I think, three of them, and this was just one of them. So hopefully, I don't know. Regardless, putting that aside, let's just talk about the film for now. Um, yeah, this movie is about a group of activists who break into an IKEA, basically. What's it called again?
Home idea.
Home Idea. And they hide in like various places throughout the store so that they can get shut in there with the place and that they can go in and cause some anarchy and leave a message about the company because the company has been responsible for the deaths of thousands of animals in the rainforest because they get the wood from the rainforest, and they're there as activists to send a message to the company and to the people to like you know protest against this
Hmm.
company. While they're in there, they uh, get into an altercation with the security guards, and then there's kind of like a showdown between the security guards and the kids, and that's the where the horror or like the thriller aspects of the movies begin. This movie was fucking terrible, which is shocking to me. I really was blown away by how bad I actually thought this movie was. I'm gonna let Kaylee talk now because I could probably rant about this for 10 minutes, but I don't want to say everything, and then you'd be like, "What else do I have to say?" Which I
Oh
do to
yeah.
her way too often, and I apologize.
No, I really didn't like this movie at all. I thought it was also horrible, and it was really shocking because like Turbo Kid is rad, and then We Are Zombies we really liked, and it just this has like none of the like the character
Oh my
and
god.
the pizzazz, and not that it needs not the comedy aspect, although I think that there are a few things in here that are sort of meant to be like, the characters are supposed to be kind of charming at times, and I hated everybody's
Yes.
chemistry. I hated like the setup, and as somebody who is all about animal rights and activism, like I felt like this would have been the kind of film that wouldn't, I wouldn't need to work so hard to connect with the main
Sure.
characters, but I just could not. I really hated them. I felt like the motivation for what they were doing, I didn't feel like they were that passionate about anything, and
Nope.
maybe that is part of the intention of them being like dumb kids that are like they
Yeah.
think that they're doing
Right.
something. I get that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I still feel like they should have had more, it should have felt like they were more passionate about it, even if they were like also dumb kids.
Right. They're
um
just doing it for the attention.
yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I didn't think either aspect worked though. I really
No.
didn't like that. I
No.
did not like the villain in this at all. Anything with that, I just thought was really lame. And there's a lot of things in here that they're not plot holes, but they are like things that make the story.
Contrivances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just very basic things that are like, what? What do you mean? Like they're gonna do that when they know that this thing is,
Well,
happening.
I mean, we can talk about that kind of stuff because to me, that's not much of a spoiler. So, there's these kids that break into an IKEA, as we had stated, and there's stupid things. And I'm willing to look past stupidity in movies as long as it's for the purpose of entertainment. If there's
Mm.
things that happen in a movie that don't make a lot of logical sense, as long as there is a give and take to it, I'm fine with it, right? Like the directors make that conscious choice, an artistic choice to say, okay, while this may not be realistic, this adequately gets us from point A to point B whilst also being entertaining or exciting or whatever. I'm fine with that. As long as you're getting something for what you're losing, right? There's got to be a balancing of the scales. And what happens in here, there's way too many stupid things. And it's not for any purpose. It doesn't add anything to the movie. It doesn't make it more exciting. It doesn't cut down the runtime. It doesn't, there's no reason for these stupid things in the film. So like, for instance, these kids are they know security guards are in the building. They know there's cameras everywhere. They bring in masks to wear when they're filming, but they're also wearing masks because there's cameras all throughout the store. But then there's a scene somewhere in the middle of the movie where they go and they like have lunch, which adds to the stupidity of like them being animal activists. You'll see for yourself in there. But I think that's supposed to like point towards their hypocrisy. So I don't have as much of an issue with that. But what I do have an issue with is that they're sitting there with their masks off and they're just talking loudly and screwing around and doing whatever with security guards in the building. They mentioned somewhere earlier in the movie that they'd been planning this for months. What planning they were doing is completely lost on me. The level of brazenness of these kids while they're in there when they're supposed to be so stealth earlier on in the film, and then they just get so like willy-nilly with oh, let's just take off the masks and just hang around and start doing these things. And they're being so fucking loud. They're being so careless and reckless. And it I don't know. The characters are insufferable. Not one character is even remotely likable or interesting or entertaining, right? I don't have to like the characters, right?
Yeah.
Like that's not a necessity for me, right? Like a lot of American audiences, they're like, they need their hero and they need their very black and white, like villain versus hero kind of characters. I'm not like that at all. I've watched a ton of foreign cinema in my life, and I know that movies can be great where everyone is unlikable.
Yeah, definitely.
But as long as they're engaging, as long as they're entertaining, as long as what they're doing, I can hang out with them for the runtime and be either like perplexed by like, you know, their decisions, but in an intriguing and thought-provoking way and whatever. In Red Rooms, which is a perfect example of a movie that doesn't have a character that's very likable, but is super fucking interesting and super thought-provoking. But with this one, oh my God, do I hate everybody. I hate everyone's decision in every single thing that they do within the movie. The motives of everyone is like either super convenient or completely unclear.
Yeah.
The way that everyone is portrayed and the way that everything is handled is super lame.
Yeah.
And lastly, and this is the biggest issue with this film by far and away for me, is coming from these directors that did Turbo Kid, that did We Are Zombies, that have these really cool either kills or practical effects. Like in We Are Zombies, they have this like 10-foot tall zombie like totem freaking thing that this zombie has like all these things attached to it, and it's one of my favorite creature designs of all of last year. And there was amazing creature designs from last year. It was incredible practical effects works, incredible vision, really, really cool stuff, right? And there's some really good kills in there, as well as in Turbo Kid. There's some gnarly ass kills, some really inventive stuff, some really cool practicals, and the characters are so wonderful. I mean, Apple is one of my favorite characters in a movie in the last like 10 years, right? So they're very capable of creating really exciting, fun characters. Summer of '84 has fantastic characters. Plus, they also add really good kills. This is a slasher movie for the most part. Right? By and large, this is a slasher film. This reminds us of the movie Hide and Go Shriek that we watched, you know, maybe a couple years ago that we forgot to review on the channel. We need to fix that. But it does remind me of that movie because the kids, you know, they stay overnight in a furniture store, and then they're stalked by a killer within the furniture store. So it's a very similar setup. This with these directors, and the movie is this tame and lame, is crazy to me. There is not one single kill in the film that is memorable, that is like on screen, that is graphic, that is anything. It is either like necks breaking, you know, or kills off screen, no gore,
Yeah.
Like, what? How?
I know. That was another big disappointment for me too, is that I didn't feel like any of the kills were very memorable or fun or inventive or anything. And so, yeah, I mean, pretty much everything you said with like the planning and all of that, I think that that's just, it makes the movie feel really lame. And ultimately, I ended up just being kind of bored
Oh my
too.
God. I
Like,
was
that's
on
the
my
other
phone
thing
like
where,
10 different times
and
during
this
this
is
because I
only
was
like an
like,
hour and 20
I
minute
know.
movie. Like, it's
I
a
know.
pretty short film. So, but I felt like it dragged on, and I was just like not into any of it. So it was a fairly big disappointment because we did so enjoy the other movies.
Yeah,
And yeah, I don't know. I
absolutely.
don't know what happened with this one, but it is nowhere near the quality of the others, and just one that you probably can skip.
Oh, 100%. No
That's not a
style,
recommendation from
no
us.
pizzazz, no characters, no gore, no anything.
Yeah.
This is a failure on all levels for me. I think that this was completely ill-conceived from the start, which is funny to me because I feel like if you take the framework of this film, because the killer's gimmick would work really fucking
Sure.
well.
Yeah, the
And they
framework
even
makes
do these like
sense.
fantasy things in the killer's head that aren't even done well, but had they been done well, would have really added to the
Yeah.
film. There's so many things here
Yeah.
that have potential. The concept could absolutely work,
Yeah, for sure.
but none of it does. None of it. I literally couldn't point to a single thing in this film that I thought worked
Yeah.
outside of the very basic framework concept.
Yeah. I liked the very, very end. I'll say that. There was
Oh,
like one thing at the very end that I was like, ah.
I mean,
But that's such a
sure,
that's like nothing.
it's a cute little like tacked on
Yeah.
ending kind of thing where
Yeah.
you're like, okay, like that, whatever. But it doesn't. I don't
No.
know if it would have shown it, but no, it
Yeah.
doesn't because this movie is tame and lame. That is the perfect three words to sum up this entire film.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So
So that's
big
that.
shame. Um, yeah, this one's under embargo for like a month, so no one's gonna be seeing this review for a long freaking time. We're back in at March 1st right now. I don't think we're allowed to release this until the very end of March.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, I don't know when this
That's
comes
gonna be a
out.
while.
I don't really care.
Yeah.
You can look it up if you have any interest in this. It's a quick Google search on when this comes out. But man, it is a complete skip for sure. I
Yeah.
I I,
We're
I wish I wouldn't
we're
have
not
wasted my time.
fans. Sorry.
I'm not fucking sorry.
I'm just sorry if you
No,
watch the review, it's like don't watch the movie.
yeah, yeah, no,
So,
no. When someone makes a movie like this, sometimes I do feel bad shitting
mm,
on movies. I do, but I feel like with movies like this, I don't know. There's so many. We had talked about that while we were watching this, where I I think about the directors who are clearly fans of the genre, who clearly love film.
yeah.
And if they were to watch this,
Oh,
if they were
sure.
to honestly watch this
Then have
as a viewer,
yeah.
if they had no attachment to this, they would agree with me 100%. I guarantee you, if the directors could go into an alternate timeline where they have no knowledge of that they made this movie and they were to watch this film, they would have all the same problems I have with it that you have with it.
Yeah.
So, no, to me,
Yeah.
that's a total failure. And I think that if they were being honest, they would agree and be like, yeah, we botched this one. But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean you can't recover. That doesn't mean,
It's true.
some things happen. I mean, who knows?
Mhm.
Maybe they're having a lot of issues on set because of what happened with that other guy,
Right? Oh,
and
yeah, that's
things
what I
kind of
was
fell
kind of
apart.
thinking, where like maybe this was just a bad yeah, just couldn't get pulled together because of outside influence and stress and whatnot. So, it's all
Yeah.
right. Not every movie is a 10 out of 10 or anything. So definitely watch the other films like Turbo
Oh,
Kid
hell
and,
yeah.
and We Are Zombies. We really liked, those. So we can vouch for those films being great. But this one, just don't. Don't do it.
No, God,
So,
no. All right. Let us know. We'll see you in the comments. Bye.
bye.